Everyone thought the weakest wolf in the silvermoon pack would die forgotten. They were wrong. Because the omega they laughed at, the girl they humiliated, the mate their alpha rejected in front of the entire kingdom, was the last descendant of the ancient moon queens. And the day she returned, every alpha in the world had to bow. The silvermoon kingdom had never seen a night like this. Thousands of wolves gathered beneath the silver glow of the full moon. Warriors stood proudly in their armor, nobles wore their finest clothes, and elders prepared for the most sacred ceremony in the werewolf world. The mate ceremony. Every wolf dreamed of finding their destined partner. But tonight, everyone waited for one person. Alpha King Kale, the strongest alpha in generations. A warrior who had never lost a battle. A leader feared by enemies and respected by allies. Many powerful families hoped their daughters would become his Luna. But no one expected the moon goddess to choose someone unexpected. At the edge of the ceremony hall stood Lyra. Unlike the other women, she wore a simple white dress with no jewelry. She kept her head lowered, trying not to attract attention. She was an omega, the lowest rank in most werewolf packs. Since childhood, Lyra had lived in the servants' quarters of the Silver Moon Palace. She had no powerful family, no famous bloodline, no special abilities. At least, that was what everyone believed. Why is she even here? A noble girl whispered loudly. An omega watching the alpha's mate ceremony? How embarrassing. Another laughed. Imagine if the moon goddess chose someone like her. Lyra ignored them. She had learned long ago that silence protected her better than words. But deep inside, she carried one secret. She had always felt connected to the moon. Whenever she looked at the night sky, she felt as if someone was watching over her. As if something inside her was waiting to awaken. The elders approached the center of the courtyard. The ancient moonstone was placed on a golden pedestal. The stone had existed for thousands of years. Legend said it could reveal the true mate of the Alpha King. The crowd became silent. The ceremony began. Alpha Kale stepped forward. The moment he entered the moonlight, the entire courtyard trembled with his powerful aura. Everyone lowered their heads. Everyone except Lyra. Not because she was disrespectful. Because she couldn't take her eyes away. For years, she had admired him from a distance. She had seen his kindness when he protected weak wolves. She had believed that beneath his cold alpha image was a good man. Kale placed his hand on the moonstone. The stone remained dark. A wave of disappointment moved through the crowd. Then suddenly, the stone exploded with silver light. Gasps filled the courtyard. A beam of light crossed the entire hall. Everyone followed its path. Until it stopped. On Lyra. Silence. Complete silence. The moonstone had chosen her. The Omega. The servant girl. The weakest wolf in the kingdom. No. Someone whispered. This cannot be true. Kale stared at Lyra. For the first time his expression changed. Shock. Confusion. And something else. Fear. Lyra's heart raced. Could it be? After years of feeling invisible, had the moon goddess finally chosen her? Slowly Kale walked toward her. Every step made her heart beat louder. When he stopped in front of her, Lyra looked into his eyes. She waited for him to accept the bond. But instead his expression became cold. I reject you. The words shattered the entire world around her. A painful silence followed. Lyra stared at him. She thought she had misunderstood. What? Kale looked away. I said I reject you as my mate. The crowd erupted. Some laughed. Some whispered. Some looked at her with pity. Kale continued. I am the Alpha King. I cannot have an Omega with no status, no power, and no family standing beside me as Luna. Each word hurt more than the last. Lyra felt the mate bond breaking. A pain unlike anything she had ever known spread through her body. But she refused to cry. Kale turned away. The ceremony is over. The crowd began leaving. No one noticed the strange thing happening above them. The full moon had changed. Its silver light slowly turned crimson. And deep beneath the ancient mountains, something that had been asleep for 1,000 years opened its eyes. Lyra walked away from the palace alone. No one stopped her. No one called her name. The girl who had spent her entire life serving others was suddenly unwanted by everyone. She reached the edge of the kingdom and looked back one last time. This place was never my home. A tear fell from her eye. Then she whispered, maybe I was never meant to belong here. She stepped into the forbidden forest, a place where even warriors feared to enter. The trees surrounded her. The air grew colder, but Lyra kept walking, until a voice stopped her. Finally, she froze. Someone was there. Who is it? A figure stepped from the shadows. Not a wolf. Not a human. Something ancient. A massive white wolf with glowing blue eyes stood before her. Lyra stepped back, but the creature lowered its head. My queen. Her breath stopped. What did you call me? The wolf looked at the mark appearing on her wrist. A silver crescent moon. The last moon queen has awakened. Lyra stared at the glowing symbol. No, that's impossible. The wolf's eyes shone. Your entire life was a lie, Lyra. You were never a weak Omega. You were the heir everyone thought was dead.